Welcome to Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda. Whenever you think about great courage, whenever you want to use an example of great courage in the face of overwhelming odds, there's a picture that a lot of people would resort to, a photograph of a young man standing in front of a tank. It took place on this day, 5th of June in 1989, and we don't know that young man's name. There had been pro-democracy protests for several days in a row in Tiananmen Square in the centre of Beijing in communist China. And it was really part of a worldwide movement for freedom, that there'd been protests across Eastern Europe, and many totalitarian communist regimes had collapsed in the face of these protests. And now it looked like the same thing was going to happen in China, but the Chinese government clamped down on it and sent the military in. And as the military came in, this young man stood in front of a tank. And he just stood there in front of it, and the tank tried to go round him, and he kept stepping in whatever direction the tank tried to go in. He kept stepping in front of it to block its way. And like I said, we don't know the name of this young man. We don't know if he's alive or dead or what happened to him after this, but that image is seared in people's memories as an act of incredible courage. In fact, in 1998, whenever Time magazine made a list of the 100 most important people of the 20th century, that unknown young man who stood in front of the tank was ranked among the most 100 most important people to have lived in the century. You know, some people are rightfully remembered for the great things that they do. Some people, we remember their names and revere their names and teach them to our children in history at school. And there are others who do incredible things and we never know their names. And this man was just such a person. I think perhaps the reason why his actions were so inspiring is that he was running such a great risk. But also that he sums up the kind of courage that many of us would want to have, but we don't always demonstrate. Very often we want to take a stand on things that are important, and sometimes we fail to do so. Sometimes we're afraid. But this young man was not afraid, and that was truly inspirational for so many of us. You may be somebody who gets the recognition you deserve for what you do. Or you may be somebody whose name will never be remembered by anybody, yet you make a difference to others. Who we are is more important than what other people say about us or who remembers our names. You know, I know that sometimes I've had to take stands on things that I knew were important to me and were important to God. And They were not things where anyone was going to applaud me for taking those stands. But I knew I wouldn't be able to look at myself in the mirror in the morning if I didn't take those stands. I want to encourage you today. I don't know what it is that you're facing, but I do know that many of us face situations that demand moral courage. And sometimes there's a whole load of people encouraging us and supporting us and strengthening us and urging us to do the right thing. And sometimes, like that young man just standing alone in front of the tank, we feel as if we are absolutely on our own. Well, I want to tell you, if you're a follower of Jesus Christ, you are not on your own. God is with you. Jesus is with you. He that is in you is greater than he that is in the world. And if you're facing a battle today, if you're facing temptation today, if you're needing to stand up for something that is right, I pray that God will give you the courage, the strength, and that you will be able to demonstrate a bravery that you could never discover just within yourself, but it comes through your knowledge and experience of and your relationship with Jesus Christ. May God bless you today, and join us again tomorrow for another Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda.